shining bright like a light. Guiding souls to peace, leading minds to the right. With her codes by her side, they soar to new heights. Marcy Trueheart in the mix, mental health advocate, speaking truth, sparking change, grinding like a maverick. Empowering minds, lifting spirits, it's never too late. Together with the crew, just trying to do great. Jamie Tyler in the house, a TV star, champion mental health, taking it far, sharing stories, inspiring minds, raising the bar, with codes by the side, reaching for the stars. Thursday therapy, breaking stigmas all around. With this crew, they here for the town. Mental health help, spreading love profound. Their voices echo loud with a resounding sound. Thursday therapy, here to make a change, spreading love, sharing knowledge in a world so strange. Tyrese, Marcy, Jamie on this mental health range, standing united this far from a game.
Hey, hey, hey.
What's up, y'all?
Hey, my good people.
I think Thursday is my favorite day of the week, except for Payday Fridays, which happens twice a month.
Yeah,
okay.
It's my second. Thursdays.
I used to
Thursdays is my second. What'd you say?
I like the first of the month now, so.
Okay, that retirement life. Yes. All right. I'm looking forward to it. I've been telling my husband and everybody who will listen to me, I'm ready for my soft life. I'm ready for my soft life where I ain't really got to work hard. I want to work maybe 3-4 hours a day, 3 times a week, and that's it.
And I let you in on a secret though. When that day comes, you still gonna work 8 to 12 hours. It's just.
But it's gonna be because I want to, not because I have to.
There you go. Yeah, you definitely you still gonna be busy. I said like when I can sit still on Thursday, y'all know it's a miracle. And that one upstairs, she tried it. She said, that's right. You guys don't stop because it's every week. It's like, let's do this. Let's go there. I'm like, no, I'm not moving.
I thought you was the one who be promoting the let's go.
No, I love sitting still. You have no idea.
That ain't what we heard.
No, when I have to move, I have to move a lot. Don't get it twisted. But when I don't, she'll tell you, I'll be in the bed at 3:00 under the cover.
Oh, that's earlier than Marcy. Marcy, he got you beat. 3:00.
And look, cause I wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning. To play with the people. So I need to be in bed early. But now the older I get, the less sleep I'm getting. I'm mad about that.
Well, I would say
might be your lifestyle change.
Yeah. So my issue is seeing there because I'm stressed every week, every day because
stop looking at CNN. You get unstressed.
But you gotta keep up because you don't know.
You better know what's going on. And you know what? I'm glad y'all said that because it really is a balance. We cannot put our head in the sand and act like it's not happening because that's gonna be a problem. But too much of it is a problem as well. So y'all both right.
You know what I do, y'all?
We got to find a balance. And
you know what I do when I'm on Twitter? And you know your boy done took over the whole Twitter feed of politics. I'll read something so outrageous. I'll be like, don't even read it. Just keep going. I'm like, I can't believe this can't be real what I just read. And it's all down the feed. It's like,
I have the same experience when I'm reading, and when I'm reading the comments, I'm like, this people, wow. And y'all know I do mental health, but I'm like, it's a lot more crazy people without a diagnosis walking around and they hanging out on Twitter.
Yes.
Right. They all need co-payments.
Yes. That's why I'm not mad the show not on, because Twitter occupied my entire day back when I kid. And I was like,
okay,
I can't do this. I'm talking about they'll go all day on you. So when it's on, as soon as it go off, or while it's on, up until probably Wednesday that following day, Jamie, Raina, whoever.
Well, since you've been on Thursday therapy, you definitely have learned how to curb your enthusiasm on some things. I'm gonna say that. So, but when the show comes on, we really gonna have to buckle down because of the simple fact you have to realize you know who you are. Your internet enemies are just that, your internet enemies, because you know
they don't know you.
Yeah, you know what goes on in your household. You know what kind of a husband, father, brother, friend. You know what kind of person you are. So, ooh, I was going to say something crazy. Yeah. See, that was that emotional intelligence.
Yes, I'm loving
I'm
it.
gonna have to bring Marcy on as a friend with Raymond because we need that. I need that energy. And if certain people come back, I'm gonna just say that.
No. So and that, I mean, I think that's good, and I think we should really talk about that because your mental health is really important and how you do it. Because I keep telling you, you have expanded your brand. And you got real stuff. So remember when you were bringing me on the show, when we were talking, I said, Jamie, listen, I know it's a reality TV show. I said, but I can't be shown in no crazy light. I said, because I got real clients out here depend on me. Remember, I was like, listen, you know what I'm saying? I can't do the shenanigans. I really want to do the show. I think personally it'll help my brand.
Yeah.
I can't be out here looking crazy. And you was like, no, it's gonna be good. And it was a very good experience. It definitely helped me. And I think you're gonna have to get to the same space because the stuff you're doing is really good stuff. And you can't afford, not even financially, but you have elevated since you started on that show, and you're not in a position, you got some really good stuff, and you got stuff that's gonna last way longer than a reality TV show. Y'all get a couple of seasons, or even if you have a long run, like Housewives of Atlanta, like they've had a long run.
Right.
But look at each one of the housewives. They all certified.
Marcy, we're not gonna talk about people. But I'm saying you got a really good, your brand is amazing, and all of the stuff you're promoting, you really gonna have to stay shored up. So we got you.
You're right. And I will remind you, if you remember, at your office, I don't know if you remember, they tried to push the alcoholic on me. You remember that? They told somebody to ask me that?
Yes.
And I had steam coming out my ears because I had to get on my producer back then. I said, stop playing with me with this bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't play that. Like, just like you said, just bigger than TV. Like, stop playing with me. Everybody on this cast drink. Some drink more, but everybody drink just as much as I do. I'm going to have a good time. I'm going to have a good time. We know this shit is elevated for TV. So stop playing.
Yeah.
So,
but this is the other thing too. You can't stop what people do or say or how they think. You don't have no control over that. But you got to be sure of yourself. Most of the time when I'm working with clients, it's never, because people are going to say what they got to say. And if you just think about people who don't have nothing to do but look at Twitter or be on Twitter from Saturday, when the show came on, Saturday night, right?
Yeah. Saturday
night to Wednesday, bruh, they ain't got no life. They ain't got no life. So why you even communicating with those people? Like you know what you're doing. You know the kind of father you are. Your kids know the kind of father you are, right? So you can't get caught up in that because they'll have you running down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? I comment. Y'all following the Anthony Edwards stuff with that girl and the baby?
No.
Y'all been following that?
No.
So he plays in the NBA and he got like 4 girls pregnant in like the same year.
Little Nick Cannon going on.
Yeah, but one of the baby mothers he just gave like $1 million to.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, and he don't want no dealings with her. He said, "Take the $1 million. I'm good for 18 years." So it was she spoke out. She did a live and gave her story, and she's off, like clearly off. And all I said when I saw it and listened to what she said, I said, "Am, you better run." I did a little running emoji. And a fan of the show finds my comment out of all the people saying the same thing and jump on mine and got all this writing paragraphs this long. I said, all these people saying basically he need to leave Shorty alone, but you want to bring up me, and I had a son with a disability and one that was rebellious, and then this, and I'm like, what do that do? I'm commenting on this girl's video. I ain't talking about the baby. He paid the lady, and I'm saying, like, you could tell she was about getting a celeb to get her pregnant.
Yeah.
It's clear as day. And I'm like, he 23 and she 38. She got a baby by him and a baby by Lil Baby, the rapper.
He should have wrapped that thing up. But what did you do this weekend, Jamie?
Besides read Twitter.
While sitting there. So I know we on the time scale. I'm gonna just keep it real brief. I feel like it was a quiet weekend. I can't remember, but we do have the diaper drive this Saturday coming up.
Okay, great.
I went to the Wizards game. Took Jason. That was I want to say Sunday, Saturday. No, Saturday.
Jason recovered from that cafeteria.
Oh my God, he ain't in there. He just got here fussing.
Oh Jesus! I bet he went to go get something to eat. I'm not messing with my nephew. He hilarious.
Yeah, I think I was quiet though, y'all. This is the Wizards game, and could be missing something. Oh, I did the brunch Sunday. That was pretty good.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that. So we're gonna do it again, not this week, but the following week. And then tar season is coming, so I'm working on.
Don't nobody care, Jamie. Don't nobody care.
Everybody cares. Everything stops.
Jamie, it just seemed like just a couple of months we celebrated your birthday.
Yeah, we celebrated your birthday 3 months ago.
This should be once a month, I really think. But
you had more birthdays than Chuck Brown did.
What did y'all do?
What did we do this weekend?
Look at my calendar.
See,
I don't really think I did much.
Yeah, I don't think I did much. I danced, which I dance every Saturday. I hung out with Mama Sarah after church. But I know this Saturday, our church is having an active shooter and stop the bleed classes with Mike Hubbard, which was my conceal and carry instructor. So I am doing that. So I'll miss the diaper drive this month. So I'm sad about that, but definitely
got you.
Good, because I'll be back because I miss it. And Saturday, I'm dancing. So, and Sunday, I want to chill out because I'm tired. I've been
having a new lifestyle.
Fun.
I'm just saying, it's your new lifestyle.
Yeah, living my best life.
Yeah, I ain't mad at you. Yes, I love that. I love that.
You was together this weekend too, wasn't we? We did something.
I literally can't remember. That's the scary part. Maybe we shouldn't be telling if we can't remember.
There you go.
That part.
Okay, we was together now.
So that means we not co-defendants. We got alibis, right? Not co-defendants.
So I hear we got a spicy guest today, y'all.
Oh yeah. Who we got, Marcy? Who's joining us on the virtual couch?
Adina Gittens-Smith. She is my belly dance instructor. She is a women's feminine divine healer. She is she heals the pussy power. She teaches us how to renew that when our portal is together, baby, mental health does. We make things right. Oh my goodness, she's a ball of joy. She's energy. She is everything you would want when she enters the room. Just like one of my quotes, when I enter the room, the atmosphere changes because I'm in it. But when we're in a room together,
you feel the shift, Jamie. You feel the shift. I feel it. Change over there and up a Marlboro.
I feel it. And there she is. And
yes.
Welcome to the couch. Welcome.
Greetings. Thank you, Marcy, for that beautiful introduction. Oh my goodness. It's so nice to be here with you all on Thursday Therapy. I give honor and homage to you for bringing awareness to mental health every week with this offering and having Jamie here, the Divine Masculine, to let brothers know that mental health is for us all. We all have a mentality. We all have a mind. It's important to have this part in harmony with the rest of our bodies and our lives. So thank you for this offering and thank you for having me back on the show. Thank you. I love you all.
Yeah,
we appreciate you.
So Adina, because your bio is extensive.
Oh, okay.
So tell us, it's extensive, honey. Yeah. Tell us a little about you.
Okay, I'm happy to share. So, like Marcy said, my name is Adina Gittens-Smith. I call myself the goddess of magical movement. I am a dancer, a lifelong dancer. I'm co-founders of Belly Dancers of Color Collective. I'm the founder of the Goddess Technology Experience. I have a podcast as well as Divine Feminine retreats for the Divine Feminine, women really waking up to our magic, understanding who we are and our power. And pussy power is a part of that. When you negate the divine, sacred, sexual aspect of yourself, you negate your power. You negate an aspect, really one of the most power, and I can say the most powerful energy on the planet is sexuality and sexual energy. And when that is not in harmony with everything else you do, you're like lopsided. You know that, like you'll see somebody and be like, I know what that girl needs. She need ba 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 ba. And how about she do?
Right now, get on this podcast.
She do. You know what I'm saying? The same thing with the brothers. When you're not connecting with the divine feminine, you're off. I heard you talking about the one brother who had connected with this person, and after he conceived the child, he's like, she's crazy. But did he take time to know who he was connecting with before that point? You know, when we're just connecting but not connected to the sacredness of this act, then you have these unfortunate situations that, you know, is for life. And I won't say the child is unfortunate, but just know that that's a life lesson. That's a karmic lesson. So when we pull these things in harmony, we're more purposeful and we bring children to the world who actually are ready for the new world. We came from the old world, the old system. These babies are here for the new world that's being created. So I hear you and I love you. Marcy said, who am I? It's so much. I'm a mother of 3 grown sons. I have a master's degree in education with a specialization of curriculum and conflict resolution, curriculum and instruction and conflict resolution, which is very important. A lot of times why relationships don't work is people don't know how to communicate. They don't know how to have a conflict and still love each other. They don't know how to agree and disagree and still be in love. Okay. These are important things for sisterhood. You hear women say all the time, well, I don't get along with women. Well, that's like saying you don't get along with yourself. How you don't get along with women, half of the population, half of the world. So these are systemic issues that affect how our families function, how we function on these quote unquote jobs, which I still call just over broke, because that is just the new slavery. Okay, how we function in all the things that we do, how we function with ourselves. So when we talk about pussy power and sacred beauty and feminine womb healing, it all starts with us right here in this heart. So that's just little sprinkles of who I am, what I do. I'm here. I dance with Marcy every week. That's my boo right there. I hug her tight. I love her so much. She is amazing. And what's been amazing about this sister here is watching her transform and watching her grow and bloom. That's been an amazing process. I'm happy to be on the ride with her. And that's just, she's an example of what happens when you come into your divine essence and start to recognize all these stories that you've been told about yourself basically are a lie. You are magnificent. Marcy talks about luxury words. I love that for us. Let's speak of ourselves with luxury words. Let's speak of our mates with luxury words. Let's speak of our children with luxury words. That's how we change the world. I'm a world changer. I'm a new world creator, okay? The divine feminine is the womb of all creation, and that's who I am.
Oh,
I love it. Yes.
Yes. I love it. I love it. So tell us,
Marcy, before you go into that, I just want to say, because I've been on the ride with Marcy as well, like that is, I love that you brought that up, because I think we don't really get enough of that, right? Like when we don't know how to support our sisters when they're going through, and we don't know how to celebrate them when they've arrived, right? And so I love that. And Marcy, she is absolutely right, girl. You are doing it. Yay.
Yeah, she is.
I didn't want you to blush.
Yeah, I'm saying it's beautiful to see. And you know, when a sister has caught her stride, we use it all. Like we don't say, oh, that happened and that was bad. That was a part of the journey. She needed those things to even be where she is right now. So it was fuel for the journey. And to use that in mental health, to use depression, understanding that it's just a point, it's not the end. We go down so we can go back up. You know, they got songs about that. So understanding it's all a part of the journey. We can use it all. We really can. But the important thing is to have a goal of where we're trying to go. You know, and that comes with really knowing yourself.
Love it. Yeah. All right, Marcy, what were you going to say?
What were you going to say, baby?
So, Adina, because of the simple fact you being part of the Belly Dancers of Colors tribe, and you always know that I call my sisterhood tribal members. And it's many of us, very strong personalities. How do we keep the circle that we have, and our circle grows? Because one thing about that, when you come into Belly Dancers of Color, we automatically say you tribe, you in for life, so you can't get out. But tell us the secret behind how we can stay in sisterhood.
The secret behind that is really no secret. It's how you begin. It's your intention. So growing up as a dancer, I've been in situations where it wasn't always tribe. I've been with dancers who were just straight bitches. You know, they didn't care. They were just, and I'm not talking about them, but they didn't understand how to create sisterhood. So I felt the opposite of that. I felt in places where, and if any of you have ever danced or done sports or things like that, where you feel like people say you have to be a certain body type, you have to be a certain look, you have to be a certain weight, you know, like I felt like I didn't make those things. I was to this, I was to that. This wasn't right. That wasn't right. All of those things. But I knew that I was a dancer in my heart. And back then, this is so funny, Marcy, I was literally a size 4. Okay. And I was the biggest one in there. I thought I was a cow because that's what they told me. I was a cow. And I'm 5'1.5". Okay. So you get what I'm saying? I'm fun size. I'm fun size. What? But I was told that I was a cow. So you think about them, they were all like size 0s or something like that back in the day. So coming from an environment like that, what it informed me of what I didn't want. So I had very clear understanding of we're not doing that. We're not doing that. When I went to my first belly dance class, my teacher told me, come as you are. Her just saying that healed so much of me feeling like I'm not right. I'm too much of this, or this ain't right. You know, it's like whatever you have, bring that. We celebrate that. Belly dance celebrates the whole woman, all of her. Beauty is not just the rose. It's not just one flower. It's all the flowers in the garden. So we can appreciate the diversity of it all. So for us, the intention when Belly Dancers of Color Collective was formed, we came with the aspect of love, number one. That was our foundation, love, because we know a lot of sisters are coming from environments that wasn't a foundation of love. We all are healing from different things we come through, from our families, from our churches, from our schools, from our relationships. There have been places where we didn't feel love. But when you come in and you feel love, you recognize that. You know that right off the bat, like, wow, this is different. Yes, we exercise. Yes, it's artistry, but we're sisters first. So we also understand we have to teach that. And how do we teach that? We have to be that. We have to actually be what we want to see. And so it's a constant effort of trying to do better, you know, communicating when we have a misstep, and then coming back to the greater aspects of ourselves. So Marcy can attest to us working through that, because you've been with us for a few years now. Before COVID, I remember you, Marcy, like before, like at the studio we had out in, was it Camp Springs or something like that? Yes. I remember teaching and you were there. That was the first time I met you. So that was 2019 at least?
Around that time, yes.
Right. And so in that time, I've really got to know this sister, and she's really gotten to know me, and we've gone through things together. And I don't even think we've had any, you know, kind of funky places. We just had love, love, love. But if there are places where people have funky places, we have a circle where we can handle that. In African culture, you took your grievances to the community, but the community also had a principled way of moving through stuff. It wasn't about slinging dirt back and forth. Oh, you was wrong for this, that, and the other, because everybody feels justified in whatever reason that whatever happened. Like everybody feels that. So what we started, what I was taught from one of my teachers is, okay, let's say we'll start with this general fact. Nobody's doing anything wrong because everybody has a perspective and a story. Let's just come from there, an even place. So if you tell somebody who's fussing at you, okay, you didn't do anything wrong, I just need to share from my ego's perspective where I'm at with this, because this is my experience. It's not necessarily yours. So these are ways that we handle things in a balance and in a way that honors the person, even if you felt quote unquote wrong. You don't have to alienate the person as you're moving through things. And even with that, we've had people come and go. I mean, that's life. People can come and go. People have, I like to say, Kuji Chakalia, self-determination to be wherever their spirit needs them to be. But what we have decided to be is a sacred community of women actually doing the work to be our sovereign, beautiful, amazing, sexy selves as we heal and dance and have fun together.
So I love that. What I've noticed about the women that you all, that the group of women at Belly Dance, y'all really work on healing yourselves. And I think that's what, when people don't work on that, when people don't work on healing those childhood issues, those relationship issues, those issues they have with themselves, it is really hard for them to be in relationship with others, whether that's an intimate partner or whether that's a co-workers or friendships, right? It's really important for people to heal thyself or at least work on it.
Hey, Ty.
And it's so important. That's what life is all about, is connecting with others. Like, we came to Earth to play with others. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it was just some feedback with Tyrese.
Oh, okay. That's the whole point. So when you hear sisters say, like I heard some sisters say this, I can't do the relationship no more, I'm done, I'm gonna come on off of that, everybody on some bull. It's really just a reflection of where they are in their development. They're really talking more about themselves. Like, I can't deal with these issues. And the childhood issues, we all have childhood issues. That's part of what childhood is about. But those issues came to teach you something. So get the lesson. Okay, but they don't necessarily know what to do. And so that's why Thursday therapy is good. Sacred sister circles are good. Tribe is good. Friends who will actually tell you the truth and love you regardless, not beat you down or, castigate you or any of that kind of thing. But people who are principled, people you trust to share your information with, not those who are not the ones you should share that with. You know what I mean? These sacred circles are very important.
Right.
Yeah, that sounds like reality TV cast too. Like, they need to be hearing this, because
I say.
Well, you know what? You just need to have us all on, Jamie. We just need to be all up on there and change the whole.
My head already.
But you know what, Jamie? I really believe that, they don't look for people who are healed, right? That's who's gonna watch that on television, right? Imagine that we had 3 other Jamie and Irenas that's about their business, about their family. You know what I'm saying? It's good, but that's not what's going to get the ratings, unfortunately. So, I mean, what would be nice is to see somebody get healed on television, right? Like, go from messy to marvelous, right? That would be nice. That might intrigue people, but honestly, that's not what reality TV is about.
Yeah, but like
culture.
Said, I would like for you could have the debates. That's cool. Everybody's not gonna get along for 3 months, 6 months, whatever it was. But bring it back and resolve it, like she said, like the sister circle. Okay, this is where I met you at, and my ego took it this way. How do we move forward? And I felt like our cast, some castmates was just hunkered down on, I'm gonna be the new Nene, or I'm gonna be the shit starter, and that's who I'm gonna be. And to me, coming from where I'm from, that gets you fucked up. Like, we're not playing TV all the time. Like, stop.
Right, but also that's that inner child that's so wounded, and is still wounded, and never has got that nurturing that it needs. That in all of us, that inner child needs to be healed, because it's the triggers that trigger me. The things that triggered me 6 months ago can't trigger me today, but there's a different set of triggers that I have today that I have to work on. So working on this inner child is it is a constant process. Yeah, when I breathe, I got to learn how to process what my triggers can and cannot be.
And share, because I've met both you and Raina's parents and extended family, you can see that y'all don't have the issues that other people have, because some of that stuff is systemic and starting with parenting, So, I mean, it is what it is. But I think too, as you have grown, because you definitely have grown in the last year, that you might even be able to approach it in a different way, right? Because you know that you're not just dealing with a castmate, but you're dealing with somebody who probably needs a hug more than, getting effed up. Right? Like, yeah. Because, and this is the thing I wanted to say about that. But this is the thing I want to say about that. At this time in 2025, as of January 20th, we are in no position, and I hope everybody hear me on this. Black people ain't in no position, and I say ain't, to be against each other. We're gonna have to figure this thing out. The 13% of us on earth or in the US are gonna have to try to figure this out. I even had the same conversation with some of my family members, like, listen, what we up against right now, we are not in a position to be against one another. We're not. We need each other right now. And maybe you can't see it in April, but before this end of this 4 years, baby, we're going to really need to lean on each other. And it's the same thing in our community. Sororities can't be against each other. Fraternities can't be against each other. Black Dems versus Black Republicans. We're going to have to figure it out, right? Women who don't like each other, get over it. We're going to have to figure it out because we all we got.
I was just going to say that to join in what you're saying, Tyrese, is the culture really does put forth a combativeness to it. There's a nature of the culture that has people fighting, and it likes it. It feeds off of that energy. You even think from the sports aspect, the competitive aspect, the competitiveness is built into schools, it's built into families, it's built into female relationships, it's even built into romantic relationships. You'll have folks competing, but when you can step back from that a bit and see who is it serving, it's not serving one or the other side with us fighting. And when you really look at what Marcy said to the point of the triggers are our own. Like we think that it's everybody's role not to trigger us, but the world is going to trigger us. We know that it's going to, but the trigger is our own because that stimuli informs us of what we need to heal. So if we look at this collective trigger of what you're speaking of for the Black community or whatever community, because all of us are experiencing the same thing, the point is to come together. That is the point of the trigger. So if we need something this big to happen for us to realize that we need each other, then we use it for that. It becomes the power and the fuel for us to come together. So then it's not so bad. It's like, oh, we had to go through that so we can get over this bullshit so we can come together and actually build the world that we really need. Bring our families back together, raise our children in love, take care of this, battle of the sexes. No, we need harmony with the sexes. How are we going to battle each other? We really are each other's other half. We're whole, but together we are a battery of creation. So that part is absolutely amazing. So I'm excited about it. I'm like, okay, I'm not mad about it. It's like, okay, folks gonna get what Nazu say, Marcy. You will learn today. You will learn today.
Then you're gonna take your time.
And this is all intentional too. It goes back to the Willie Lynch letter many centuries ago, that he wrote a letter to slave owners to divide us, and it is still in existence today. And so if people are not familiar with the Willie Lynch letter, please look it up. But the prescript that he wrote is still in existence today. I don't like you because you think you cute. I don't like you because you light skin. I don't like you because you dark skin. You think it really is an issue, and we haven't figured it out yet. We have not figured it out yet, but we have got to come together, and we are not in a position to be divided. And for our mental health, we have to have a collective mindset, and like you said, really try to work together and work on those egos so that we can do something.
So Tyrese, when you said the Willie Lynch letter, because it was powerful to see that, I say, how about Thursday Therapy write our own Thursday Therapy letter of the antidote to the Willie Lynch letter? Like the
say less.
Get out of the bed.
Say less. I'm gonna do that.
I say, write the letter. Okay, this is what our plan is, and those who subscribe to that, we moving it, because again, everybody ain't gonna wake up at the same time. But those of us who are awake and who are on the path, when those do come out of the darkness and they look up, the light is shining. This is what we're doing. This is an answer to that, and you got something to be a part of and something to move forward with.
I think God just put in my spirit to write an op-ed and submit it. Yes, and submit it to the post from Thursday Therapy. Yes, thank you for that.
Yes, we're gonna shake on that. We got the antidote. What?
Yeah.
Willie Lynch ain't nothing on us. We
That's
Lynch,
right.
Willie
That's
Lynch.
right. That's right. Yes.
Now,
I'm all over it.
I got a little different question now because I heard something in her bio. I heard the keyword. And
I wonder what that's gonna be, Jamie.
Go ahead and say it, Jamie.
Burn it up. Make sure you listening. Because goddamn, we need to talk about this.
Let's talk about it.
We got a hot topic in the media today with Anthony Edwards and one of his baby mothers. She just had a baby, a newborn, and he gave her all this money to be done with her, and sadly the child. And I know we were talking about the power of the pussy. And what's your take on this whole situation? And what are you going through?
Familiar with that situation outside of what you just shared. Okay. So my take on being done with your child for life, I think that's a travesty, and fatherhood is not something that you can necessarily buy your way out of. That child would still find and be like, okay, yeah, you provided for me, but I needed a father. Okay. You laid with my mother. You guys made me. I needed both of you. Children need both parents, however you can work that out. And I understand he says he needs to be away from them, but this baby's already here. So, and if she did have the baby as a pawn, that's a whole nother thing, So
let me add this. I did forget that. He did give her $150,000 to have an abortion.
Wow.
She kept the money and then had the baby. So that was another element of that.
Again, once the woman has caught the seed, it is her decision what to do with that seed, whether she's bringing it forward, whether she's sending it back to the universe. I get it. So clearly sis was trying to make some money, and she did, and brought a life to the world, brought a soul here. That soul is still valuable and deserves to have a mother and a father. I as a mother don't think you get to buy your way out of it, even if your parents are on some cruddy bullshit. So every baby has a purpose and they have a mission, and we will see how this whole thing turns out in terms of that. Now, as far as pussy power in general, I do believe that our sexual sovereignty is very important, and that means understanding the power of sexuality and what it can be used for. That is our power to create. That is our power. We create life, but more than just human life, we create Thursday Therapy. We create things. We create belly dances of color. We create luxury words. We create with the power of our wombs. It's a sacred place. It's not just a physical place. And even if you've had your womb physically removed, it's a psychic place. So when you start to understand yourself on a metaphysical level, knowing that you're more than just physical, you are metaphysical, which means above physical. The physical is just what you see, but it's so much energetically that exists with us beyond that. Then you really get into magic. And you can have magic when you're with your partner, when you are in harmony with this sacred act of lovemaking. It becomes just a carnival of yumminess. Hello? Because you're not in that shame, or I shouldn't be, or this is wrong, or, you have ulterior motives. No, you're there fully, mind, body, spirit. Your whole self is there and present. What happened?
Get her back immediately.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me because my hands are not on it.
That was powerful.
But you know what? Mine did that last week. Mine just.
They said this is some stuff.
Curry on.
My camera just went smooth out and it just popped me right out. Boop. So, at any rate, that's how you know that we're on to something. When we're saying some stuff like this, when women really wake up and understand that shame has no place in our sensuality. That's literally the act that we all come out of, the sensuality of our mothers and our grandmothers. But through religion and things like that, we have been made to feel a way, even about our own desire, and the desire is a thing that is a message. It's a message telling you something. That don't mean you got to go in every direction, but you could at least be curious about it and ask a question, and then decide if that's a direction that you want to go in. So it's a powerful thing to harmonize with your womb, to harmonize with your pussy, to harmonize in love with your partner, knowing when you lay, like when those two people laid together, that was an act of love. Even if they had alternative motives, they created a life. That's the ultimate, to bring forth a human soul to this planet. So, I don't think he gets to buy his way out of it, but I love that he did try to support her. And he said, well, I didn't want her to have it. Okay, if you didn't want her to have it, you wouldn't serve the seed, sir. You served it. So.
Oh, not serve the seed. Oh my God.
Hello. We the incubators of these seeds.
Yeah, it's a I don't like it either, but he's 23. He's got four kids by 4 different women, all like 1 year old. So he's clearly immature, and he's rich and making bad decisions right now. And I'm just more mad at his circle who's around him, who's letting him get in these situations.
Well, you can't save people from themselves. He rich and he young and he thinking that he got all the answers and he think that money is the answer to everything. My youngest son is 23 years old. So I feel that like, ooh, that's a lot. And the way he's acting, he won't be rich long, doing these kinds of things, in 5-10 years, he'd be trying to get a job at some, menial place because he just burnt it up doing silly things. Now, if he has some trusted brother that he could talk to, someone who has walked the path before, to give him some guidance and like, yo, bro, slow down a bit. Let's put some things into trust. Let's work with these mamas. You don't get out of this baby's life. You are still this baby's father. I mean, you need to understand that all your actions have consequences, logical and natural consequences. So think about your steps. That's where the brothers come in. And I feel you. If he doesn't have guidance around him, that's where folks can step up. There are folks who are out there older than him who could shed some light. Maybe he didn't listen, but you know what? If you don't listen to the counsel, life will surely teach you.
Because he served the seed.
He served the seed and she grew the seed.
Baby, stop serving your seed to everybody. I want Jamie, do you know if he happens to have a father in his life?
So it's actually a special on him and 4 other guys on Netflix called Starting 5, if y'all haven't seen it. And they follow him around, I think it was a year or 2 ago, and they follow his family around. And the girl he had then was pregnant as well. She's one of the baby mothers. And I feel like he's from Georgia. I feel like he was with his mother. I can't remember the dad being in that video, but he's like a mother and a grandmother, sisters all around in the video.
Yeah.
I can't remember, but I do know I have a 24-year-old, which is right there. In that generation, you got a 23. We all got, I think Tyrese got a 20-something. This generation is just different from how we grew up. And they think they want to get burnt. We tell them that's going to burn you. Don't do it. And they go do the shit anyway.
Mm-hmm. You're right. The generation is different, Jamie. But the other thing is that at those younger ages, we all get caught up, right? Because to speak to what Adina's talking about, we discover we got this thing, right? And everybody want this thing, and we can do some things with this thing, and we can get some things with this thing. And if you didn't have people telling you, and even when you did have people telling you like, you just don't give that away, we don't listen because it's a new thing for us and we're discovering it. And it's
very powerful, Tyrese.
Yes, it really is. And then when you have young guys who get it and they just lose their mind. The thing is, when a gentleman is older and still acting like that, and I don't know if you guys know, but I do a lot of, in addition to treating first responders and police officers, I'm certified as a sex offender therapist. And so I deal with a lot of people on sexual issues. And this is not the power of it, but like when people that had issues with it because it done went wrong for them. Right. So they're having sex with children, or they're looking at pornography, or they're, not just looking at it, but abusing it and, other things that people really don't know how to deal with it. And you have a lot of adults who really deal with sexual issues like they're 15. And that's the sad part. Like if you're 15 and you just discovered it, I give you grace because, you just discovered it. You don't even know. But like when you're 30 and 40, I'm like, we gotta like circle back.
You need some maturity.
So this is the thing, Tyrese, and why I talk about sex a lot is that we don't talk about it. And when you suppress the most powerful energy on the planet, it comes out as perversion. We know through the legacy of slavery, there was a lot of incest, there was a lot of rape, there was a lot, and this transcends race, like everyone in this country experienced that and has it in their lineage. If not you, somebody I would say in 1 to 4 women if it's 4 women in a room, 3 of them have had a situation. Okay.
Right.
So as we start talking about these things and healing these things and understanding, for boys too, you know, I'm a boy mom. I have 3 sons. So boys too, like really having them understand what it means when somebody says no, but we understand the no that goes like this too. No, yeah, no, oh no, oh yeah. You know, all of those things add to a bunch of confusion in the sexual scenario. But if we're not talking about it, then we get into some more problems, you know. But I don't want to demonize sex. I don't want to shame it because it's already so much shame on it. We want to talk about it and normalize it so we can get the healing that we all need and then move forward in love and honoring our whole selves,
And so in this, and just as a side for our listening audience, for people who have been sexually assaulted and really not addressed it, like it's really important. I think sometimes we just kind of, you know, move on quietly, but it shows up in your relationships and it shows up in other things. I want to encourage anybody who's been assaulted or molested or, you know, have a lot of shame around sexual issues that, you know, healing is possible. Don't just ignore it. And but find a therapist that can handle it, because not all therapists are created equal and can have those conversations, which is actually how I wound up getting in the field, because I was able to talk about sex publicly because I had done HIV/AIDS work early in the 90s. And so that's how I even started, because I never thought about being a therapist dealing with sexual issues, but because I had been talking about sex with people, it just was a natural transition. But yeah, it's something that we definitely have to talk about. Even when I worked at the jail, like you said, a majority of those women have been molested by family members, incest, or just raped by neighbors and people that they know. And I'll just say this too, like check on your kids, right? Like I ask my daughters. Now, I tried to be the mom that was always on top of everything, but you know, your kids are not always with you, and ask your boys too, because people do molest boys. But I was grateful that my daughters were able to say that, you know, that has not been their experience, but we just got to check, you know, because sexual assault and sexual violence is the least reported crime. And Jamie, you worked in sexual violence for a minute, right?
Yep.
Sex assault unit. And so it's the least reported crime. So I, you know, when I get an offender and they be like, oh, it was unfounded, I mean, like, that don't mean it ain't true.
Mm-hmm.
It just means there was no evidence. Right. And you can do a lot of things and not leave evidence. So, you know, I don't even let people play with me with the words. But yeah, but let's get back to like a more positive aspect. I think that when women are in touch with their sensuality, that you see a different kind of woman. Like you get a different kind of confidence, you get a different kind of walk, or you get a woman that's really sure of herself. Like when a woman can own her power, she's not going to be abused, right? Like I know that me personally, like you're not going to be disrespectful. Like I know I'm not going to say I'm going to do anything to you, but I know I ain't got to stay here and take that. You know what I mean? And I think it's very different when people understand their power. And it's not just the power of being able to have sex or have good sex, but just knowing your worth. And I think when you know your worth, then you're a better partner anyway, because you bringing something different to the table that's probably more spiritual than anything.
Well, just like you mentioned,
what about that, Jamie?
You mentioned the Willie Lynch letter and how historically or culturally we didn't know our worth, you know, in more recent history. So we're healing through this as generations. And I understand you want to shift the conversation a bit, but I just want to share this. At 16, I was sexually assaulted by my boyfriend. Okay. And I did not tell my mom. I made the conscious decision that I wanted it to stop right there. Like I told him I never wanted to see him again. If I ever saw him, I was going to hit him with my car. Like I never, like, just go away. Like Scar told Simba, run and be free. Because if I see you, I'm going to kill you. Like, just go. Okay. But the decision that I made in my 16-year-old self was, I don't want to keep having to tell this story. I know what I did. And I know that I was clear in my no, but I also know that there was some different decisions that I could make. I also know now, like, damn, like you would do all of that. Like, it's that powerful. Like, they're going to act like that, you know? So it informed me of some different things. So I had confidence in myself, even though I was hurt in that moment. And I knew telling my mom and my grandma would just blew it back up into a big, huge thing. And I needed to heal. So if you want your daughters and sons to come to you, you have to be a place that they can come to. They have to be able to talk to you and you actually listen. You know, in the Black community, oftentimes they're like, don't talk to me, don't answer me, be quiet. You know, you get all kind of mixed signals when it comes to sharing. Okay. But that experience did inform me in my sovereignty and in my power. So as I grew and I healed from that situation, I was able to govern myself differently and to really own the power of what this is. And I told myself, I'm not going to let this make me mad at all Black men. I'm not going to let this make me think that sex is better. Because I was like, well, what was that? Like, that, it got to be better than that, because that was fucking ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? So I told myself in that moment, I'm not going to be a victim because of this. I'm putting this in a box. Okay. Now, since then, I've done a lot of healing on myself, and I share with my mom as I was grown. But it's the stories you tell yourself, the messages you give to yourself about that. I use that trigger to heal and to be able to come into my power and my sovereignty, to not be a victim anymore, to see the cues up front of like, nah. You know, I trust my feeling, because you get those voices telling you things, but you don't listen. You go forward. Yeah. So these things are how I use that scenario to get stronger in my resolve and to stay soft to the masculine and soft and kind for myself. So that's what I wanted to share.
You know, I like you talked about softness, because I think African-American women get a bad rap with some Black men and other men too, because we don't always have the softness that other cultures have. We don't have the softness that white women have. We don't have the softness that Latina women have. And we have been called angry and aggressive. And it's because we haven't healed the hurt, right? Like, we want to be soft, but I think like the world might beat some women up so much that like it's a protective factor. Because I've had this conversation with a number of my male friends. And they're like, you know, Black women just ain't like this or like that. And I'm like, they hurt, they healing, they trying to figure it out. So I like that even at 16, you knew to put it in, even without the guidance from the adults in your life. Like, you knew, I need to put this in a box. I need to heal from this. I need to work it out. And hopefully people can hear that, because I think sometimes we bring those battle scars with us into the next relationship, and you beating up the new guy who don't got nothing to do with what the first guy did to you. And, you know, we really got to hear that, or we don't see that we bring that.
Right.
You know?
And that's where really understanding who you are and becoming a self-scientist of your own energy and understanding what informed you to be where you are right now. All of those experiences created who you are right now. And so if you can really, something Jamie said before when we were talking about reality TV, the culture is not really one of taking personal responsibility. It's one of blaming everybody. You did this to me. You did that, But when do we look at ourselves and understand my contribution to this? I didn't get there on accident. I didn't just hatch out of the egg there. No, there were some steps I took to be there. So in understanding personal responsibility and really diving into who I want to be, that's how I can retain my softness and my femininity and my power. You know, Black women are the mothers of the world, you know, and a lot of us are tired. We haven't had that nurturing and love we gave to everybody else. That's what Goddess Technology is about. It's like, listen, sis, I understand. I am you. I get it. Who was the shoulder for you to cry on? Where were you taken care of? When did you get to listen and utilize your own gifts for you? So it's important. Black women just really need nurturing, need to let those sacred tears fall, need to move these sacred hips and be loved and have sex without guilt and shame and all those things. You know, we're magic. We are soft. We everybody's mother. Come on now, you know? And so the guys saying that, they got mama issues, you know, whether they want to deal with it or not. Their mama was on some stuff, understandably so, Willie Lynch, blah, blah, blah. And so therefore they're on some stuff. So that healing between mother and son is so important. It's so important.
Wow. Adina, how do people get in touch with you?
Yes, get in touch with me, people. You can reach me on Facebook. And so Adina Gittens-Smith on Facebook and Goddess Technology on Facebook. Same thing on IG. I'm Adina 1000. I have the Goddess Technology podcast. You can see that and hear that on podcast stations as well as YouTube. And of course, Belly Dancers of Color Collective. We are moving booties regularly every week, healing in the motion. Because again, we do a lot of talk, but everything is not talk. Everything is not taught. A lot of things are caught just by being in the environment of those women who are up leveling. And you find yourself up leveling as you're doing your Mayas and Taksims and things like that. So Belly Dancers of Color Collective here in the DC area. We have 4 classes weekly, belly dance and yoga. And you can reach me in all of these places. Of course, you can reach out to Marcy. And she will send you right to me. She got my 7 digits and all that good stuff. But I am here. I'm your sister. Yes, let's do this. Oh, Jamie, I wanted to show you my mug. You see my mug?
I want you to see.
And she got booty too. Look at that. She got booty.
And also, Adina is a loctician because she's done my locks, my traditional locks, and now my sister locks. Mm-hmm. So, and when I go to her house, that's my mug that I drink out of.
Yes, I let Marcy have my sacred mug. I've been serving the divine feminine for many years through Sacred Beauty of doing locks. And I don't even really promote that now because I've been doing that for a long, long time. And my clients just send people to me through Belly Dance and through Goddess Technology if those want the deeper dive of really understanding who they are and how to heal some of these things and to really be a magnet for what they want in their lives. That is who I am and what I'm all about.
And Adina, can you just tell them the experience that we do with the divine masculine? As much as we work on ourselves, we work on our inner selves, but we also, when we're working, we get to show our talents and show our love that flows over to the divine masculine, and they get to be like, go make sure you're going to belly dancing.
Yes. I remember back when my kids were little, and if I didn't get to belly dance, they would be like, when you going to body dancing class? Like you, because if you ain't here and you miss dance, it's bad for all of us. You know what I mean? Because you're not happy. So please go to body dancing. That's what my youngest son would call it, body dancing. But when Mama is happy and flourishing, really it translates to everything else. And so when you look at those brothers who are feeling like the women aren't soft, it's because the women aren't happy. The women aren't healed. They're hurting. And when you're holding on to those things, you really can poison everything around you. So that's why this mental health is important. And movement is important because the body holds the records of all of those things. We know through mental health, when you have trauma, sometimes people actually even forget the things that have happened, but the body didn't forget. It's in the body. So as we're shaking those things out and remembering and releasing and healing, it is so cathartic. Sometimes we just have a cry session. Like we've done that before. We're just crying and don't know why, but it's okay. We let it fall. We let it heal, that kind of thing. So what Marcy's talking about, I noticed that after belly dance, and this was about 9 years ago, we would sit around, and oftentimes, like this was last night after class, we sit around and we'd be chit-chatting and stuff. And after class, it's the magic time, Jamie. After class, we're feeling all good. We popping, we glistening. Okay, it's like the afterglow after sex. You know how afterglow is magic time? Okay, yep. Right. It's magic time after belly dance. We glowing. So in this glow space, really, you can be thinking about and creating all kind of stuff in the glow. But what we were doing as a group is they were complaining. We were complaining about the brothers. Well, he ain't this and he ain't that. I was like, whoa, sisters, this is really not the time to do that. I understand if you might need to talk about that, but we're in a magical space. Why keep creating what we already have? Why not use this time to really create the kind of relationships with our men we want, not what we don't want? So what was born out of that is like, let's honor the divine masculine. Like we spend every time we come together honoring the divine feminine, loving on ourselves. Let's dedicate a whole class to just love on them. Let's not think about what he did and he ain't that and blah, blah, blah. It's not about none of that because what was created was divine. Let's look back at what the creator created when the masculine was created. Our fathers, our brothers, our lovers, our husbands, our sons, our uncles. So that very first honoring the divine masculine, it was a Wednesday in July of 2017. We all dressed in white. We brought pictures in of all the men that we love. We wrote different things down. We wrote our prayers for them. We danced dance to all these beautiful songs that honor the masculine, like Angie Stone, Fly Brother, and all that kind of stuff. And when we got finished dancing, we had a big circle of sisters who were just praying and crying and just like, wow, this was so powerful. And so that became a thing. Every year we gather the last Wednesday of July and we do this. The last 3 years we moved it outside since July is hot, and we actually invited brothers. We had brothers come and drum. So when the first brothers came and drum, it escalated it, because at first it was just us with us. So we invited the brothers, they were drumming. And so this particular ceremony, we had flowers. We were flowering the drummer. He got showered with roses, women just dancing around him as he drummed. He was like, that I've never had a group of 20 women who didn't even know me just wishing me good and praying for me and thanking me for just me being me. He was basically in tears. And so from that point, and that was probably about 3 years ago, every year we have brothers there drumming. And the experience has been so amazing. Last year, a brother who was there, another brother told him to come, because now we invite men to that session. They come, and then it's just a beautiful thing. So it's a ritual. It's a ritual where the women are coming together, and we are loving up all the masculine, all of them, all of you, Jamie, all of you. And so one brother who was there, yeah, you're welcome. One brother who was there, he was so moved by that scenario. This March, he organized the brothers to honor the divine feminine. And we were like, wow, look what we created. He brought it back to our studio. He had drummers, he had a DJ, he had catered food, and the men did poetry to us. People sang, it was amazing. It was 1:30 in the morning, and we was like, listen, y'all got to go home. This was great. It was lovely. It was an amazing scenario, but that's how we created what we wanted, by being it. That's what we did. That's the power of being in it. And that's what the feminine can do. That's what the sacred womb can do, is you don't look with your earthly eyes. You look with your inner eyes. Like when you're creating a baby, you don't open up your womb to see if the baby's created right. You trust that baby's forming properly. That's what we have to do with our earthly creations. Trust that they're forming properly by being the energy of them, so we can create what we want. So that's what we teach through dancing and through the scenarios that we create, and then we watch it unfold. Wasn't that beautiful, Marcy?
It was breathtaking. It was breathtaking. And all the care and the details that went in to making this a perfect event for the divine feminine. So I know we, as the belly dancers of color, we're going to always honor the divine masculine, because of the simple fact we honor ourselves. And as we honor the divine masculine, life can do nothing but get better.
Ashe.
Well,
all right.
I know we're running out of time, and I'm going to just go on the record tonight before Doc closes out. I'm going to pitch a belly dancing scene, if the cameras come back, so y'all be ready.
Okay, that's awesome.
And
that's totally awesome.
She's the teacher.
Nice.
So Raina and whoever these women on the show that survive, they're going to be
able to survive.
I love it. Also, I have a retreat going to Bali, the Goddess Technology Retreat. We're going back to Bali in July and August of this year. So we're doing a deep dive of women healing and resting and recovering and coming back more juicy and wonderful and sweet and soft, because we're taking care of ourselves and healing ourselves. So any of those interested in that, please do reach out to me, DM me, and I'm happy to share information on those offerings too. Yes.
Perfect. Adina, thank you so much for sharing your wonderful gift. We love that you have come back to share time with us. Thank you so much. And we will have you back.
Ashe, thank you, family.
Right,
it was a pleasure.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Right.
And the wine that I always bring is the 202 wine, which is Jamie and Arena's wine. The wine I never get.
Okay.
Yeah.
That I brought it to Layla's party.
Okay, dope. So dope.
So I'm bringing it tomorrow.
So check it out. Period 202. Check it out.
I shall.
All right. Thank you, Adina. All right.
Bye, my love.
All right. Marcy, do you have any Marcy moments for us before we close out?
Ooh, with this, man. Learn to love your authenticness. It's yours.
Okay.
And power to the pussy.
And power to the pussy. Ew.
All right. Here we go, guys.
All right, y'all.
Tyrese McAllister, the therapist on the mic, bringing mental health wisdom, shining bright like a light. Guiding souls to peace, leading minds to the right. With her codes by her side, they soar to new heights. Marcy Trueheart in the mix, mental health advocate, speaking truth, sparking change, grinding like a maverick. Empowering minds, lifting spirits, it's never too late. Together with the crew, just trying to do great. Jamie Tyler in the house, a TV star, champion mental health, taking it far, sharing stories, inspiring minds, raising the bar, with codes by the side, reaching for the stars. Thursday therapy, breaking stigmas all around. With this crew, they here for the town. Mental health help, spreading love profound. Their voices echo loud with a resounding sound. Thursday therapy, here to make a change, spreading love, sharing knowledge in a world so strange. Tyrese, Marcy, Jamie on this mental health range.